Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Kaizer Chiefs beat Sundowns 2-1. We're going to the Nedbank Cup final. Do you hear what I'm saying? We are going to the Nedbank Cup final. We beat Sundowns with an offside goal and lalelan asinandaba. Sinshaying offside goal mara lalelan asinandaba. But anyway, before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. If any of you watched my preview video yesterday, did I not say this is how we can beat Sundowns? Did I not say? I said we should not take Sundowns to extra time, and it must be a last-minute goal. A last-minute goal where it's like a... Guys, I literally predicted that it must be from like a set piece or a corner where it happens and we get a last-minute goal. There's not enough time, we win the game. My prediction was right. That is exactly how we beat Sundowns. We beat Sundowns, and let me pat myself on the back. Because I said if it's 1-1, perfect. Let me not praise myself, because some of you are going to say I'm taking it just too far. Look, the essence of this game was that Chiefs performed well in containing Sundowns. Similar to the game where Ribeiro beat us 1-0. It was actually a very similar game to that. The only difference between that game and this game, Kaizer Chiefs put the ball in the net. In the previous game, Kaizer Chiefs didn't put the ball in the net. This game, Chiefs put the ball in the back of the net. Nabi got his tactics right. Even though at some point I was getting scared when we were subbing Abo Tabotele, Abo Serino, and putting Abom Tetwa, etc. I was getting a bit worried. But I saw Tabotele had a bit of an injury. Serino had a yellow card, and he was starting to get a bit excited. So Nabi and them tried to save Tabotele from further injury, and Serino from his temper that could have ended up in a yellow card. But the one thing I'm going to say is this. Kaizer Chiefs really contained Sundowns, guys. Sundowns barely had chances at goal. Like, barely. Like, compare, and this may be the effect Sundowns is facing from Champions League, fatigue, and all that traveling. I don't know. But all I'm saying is that they were barely there. Like, Ribeiro was at the halfway line. This is the most shocking thing I'm going to say to you. Ribeiro was struggling with cross. He would take cross from left back, and these guys would run together all the way to the center, and Ribeiro could not take on cross. So at the end of the day, the players we didn't like, the players we have been complaining about, and this is going to be something that is going to be us, and this is going out to all the fans. When we saw the starting lineup and we saw Cross and Matt, a lot of us were already like, how are we going to win? But some of us understood the Cross one. Some of us just didn't know the Matt one, because we all expecting Unqobo and Tabotele. But at the same time, we do know that Nabi was going to go more defensive, so he was going to start Matt. But those two players, Cross and Tabotele, and Matt, were two of the players that saved Chiefs today. Because Matt had two interceptions or headers or whatever in the box where he prevented a ball that was going to get to a Sundowns player from getting to a Sundowns player. Matt had some of his best defensive performances, even though his offensive game was... It had a lot to be desired. But he played at points he played it the way he should be playing it, because he's not creative. He passed it to a Chiefs player and said, Dila ngayo baba. But like, at times it was very frustrating, which goes back to this point for me. In order for Chiefs to actually start being the dominant team we have to move past the Mud project. Despite Mud, the game he gave today, we have to move past the Mud project, because it's not sustainable how Mud plays for a team that wants to win cups and championships. We need someone who knows that position and can be defensive and attacking and keep the ball at the same time. Meaning that we need a player like Tabotele, but someone who's actually better than Tabotele. But anyway, guys, I want to say this. Amakhosi ajabulile. Look, I'm going to say, I don't care if we lose to Pirates in the final. I don't care. this is the most exciting part for me. When the PSL is done, there's always one game that's left of the season. And for a first time in a long time, that last game, which is after the league, which is after everything, is always the Nedbank Cup. And for once in our lives, we are going to be in the final game of the season. And do you know what it means that Chiefs beat Sundowns to get into the Nedbank Cup? We are automatically going to the CAF Confederation Cup. We are going to be competing in Africa. All the more reason for Abu Bobi and Amakhosi down to bring Nabi his signings. And if you are trying to attract star quality players, you can be like, hey Baba, come to Chiefs. We are going to CAF Confederation. So star African players have more reason to come to Chiefs because Chiefs is going to be playing continental football. So that is also a plus. But other than that, the performance, first half, we did the right things. I feel like at times we weren't getting to Ronwen Williams' goal. We were that for sure. That's granted. We weren't getting to Ronwen Williams' goal like in the most effective way, but you could tell that our defensive approach is allowing us to contain Sundowns because Sundowns was also failing to do the same thing to us. They couldn't get into our defense. So we couldn't get to Ronwen Williams, they couldn't get to Ubvu. The free kick that led to Tebogo Mokwena's goal. I was on social media and stuff and fighting a lot of people who were against what Dylan Solomons did. And this is what I argued. I'm like, you guys are the same people that if Dylan Solomons didn't try and make that challenge or fouled Alenda outside of the box and Alenda made a way to get in the box and score the goal, or if Simango kicked Alenda in the box and it was a penalty, you are all the people who are going to come to Dylan Solomons and say to him, why didn't you at least try making attempt? And that's what he did. And he fouled Tebogo Mokoena in the right place outside the box, and then it was a free kick that was hit where Ubvuma was standing. Ubvuma, all he had to do was trust his wall, trust his wall, with his wall was stand firm. If you trust your wall that your wall will stand firm, you stand on this side of the wall, you're waiting. When they hit it, all you have to do is touch it. A small touch to that Tebogo Mokoena shot, it was going to be a save because it was hit with power, and a small touch was going to be a save. So that's why everyone who's blaming Dylan Solomons, go watch his game, guys. He performed well defensively. He did the necessary things in attack. He actually had one of his better performances because he didn't just run. Even Cross didn't join the attack today. He said, and that's the Cross I prefer to watch each and every game, the Cross that sits. But the nice thing is that he was protected by Tabo this time, which is a very interesting one. He was protected by the players in front of him. So he was never exposed like he is in previous games. But then again, maybe it could be a thing that Sundowns didn't try to exploit Cross, because Sundowns actually tried to exploit our centre backs by making Peter Shabulile be the player running at the back, and they tried to exploit our right side of defense instead of our left side of defense, because they tried to attack Solomon's side, but they kept getting offside, or Solomons was able to recover, or Msimang was able to recover, but they barely attacked Cross's side, which was a very interesting ploy for me, because if it was up to me, I would have said it makes more sense to attack the Cross side. But their tactic for the Cross side is that pass it to Ribeiro cuts in through the midfield and then crosses the ball over to the right side on the Solomon side, and either gets to chip players and on that side, or he finds a way to beat one or two players in the middle. So we actually benefited from them over trusting Ribeiro to do his cutting and try to take on players in the midfield, because he tried it a amount of times in the game, but we got 2 or 3 players to cover him. And yeah, so that's one of the tactics that Nabi got right. I was listening to Vuma's man of the match speech. He said Nabi throughout the week said target Suarez. Nabi throughout the week said target Suarez. Target Suarez. Suarez has mistakes. Keep targeting Suarez. We will get a goal through Suarez. He said he doesn't know how or when, but he said Suarez and them are going to make a risky pass, and that's where we're going to get our goal. And that's exactly what happened. Duba said what Nabi told them from the beginning of the week is what exactly happened today. So Duba gave his goal credit to Coach Nabi. Another thing that a lot of fans have been saying a lot of the times throughout the year is that if you are facing Ronwen Williams, a lot of the times a shot on target is a goal. Today, we all basically saw that. The two clear-cut chances we had then were shot on target. Ronwen Williams had a chance to save them, and he didn't. And the last goal that Ashley Dupree scored was actually an offside goal. But let me tell you something about this offside goal. Sundowns has been beating us with these illegal goals, and they've been fouling us. We've been owed penalties. We've been owed offside goal. Sundowns has been beating us through ref decision. So finally, we beat Sundowns through a ref decision. And we knocked them in the last minute. Yeah. It feels good to rob up people, but I know when you're beating someone and robbing them offside could feel this good. It's so good to beat someone offside. These are not things we enjoy, but our Sundowns and Pirates, they always beat us at From Congo. Today it's us. I'm man. I said groove and I'm flying. Said groove, I get good Sundowns. I get good Sundowns. But anyway, to wrap up my video, it was a hard-fought win. Good performances. Let me highlight a few players. Serino tried his best to calm his tempers. He did his way to, make the team tick. Dushabalala, one thing I'll praise you about in this specific game, you didn't lose the ball as much as you do in the games, and you just played the ball the right way. You got in the pockets, you forced Sundowns to foul you. Good performance. Cross, good right back performance. Matt, good midfield performance. Msimango, good centre back performance. Edmilson Dove, shaky at times, but other than that, good player to have there to start our possession, or to just be like the sweeper like player. So that's the one thing that was good there. Buma, he didn't have much chances there to save the ball. And then Tabotele did what Tabotele does, but you could see he's carrying a knock. So it wasn't, you could see him struggling in patches. He's playing at like almost 50% of what he can do, maybe even less because of whatever injury he's carrying. Player who disappointed me, Modi does what Modi does. He just, he looks busy, but it doesn't really have an end product, which is something I've been seeing for quite a few weeks now, that he looks busy, but I don't see end product. Lollipop has been off the past month or two. I don't know. Lollipop was off. Lollipop has been the worst cheese player for a number of weeks now. Lollipop has been bad. Like, Lollipop is making the critics of him feel like they are right now, because there's things he's doing that aren't right. Like, for example, I picked this up in the game, and this kept happening with Serino, but mostly Lollipop. They do this thing where they know Suarez has a bad first touch, and even they know Suarez has a bad first touch, but they never anticipating the bad first touch. It's like they don't anticipate, and Duba was the only one who kept anticipating the bad first touches. And this goes to Serino and Lollipop. Like, they never took the coach's instructions into the game, because Lollipop and Serino, when Suarez and them have a bad first touch, they wouldn't react to it. They would leave these guys to have a bad first touch and recover. And these guys would keep doing that in the game. And the unfortunate part is that Duba kept trying to react to it, but he was always either too late, or that first touch was not in a place that it wasn't a place where the defender could recover. But Lollipop has one problem I've seen with him, is that he is very unreactive. Like, he's not proactive in his football, and he's a good player to find in the box, but he's never getting into the box. And I don't know. He has similarities sometimes to Christian Saile. Christian Saile is the fastest player, probably one of the fastest in the PSL. But does he even beat people with pace? No, because he always wants to start a race of pace with you. He wants to say, on a mark, get set, go. There's no on a mark, get set, go. Watch how Dupree makes his runs. Dupree starts his run way before you even start your run. Because Dupree knows he's fast and he can beat an offside trap, but he's not going to start running the same time as you. He will start way before you. And I think Lollipop, for me, that's the biggest thing. That's why he doesn't have a lot of goals and he doesn't have a lot of box entries. Because he is one of these, he's an annoying player to watch. He trusts his pace too much. He trusts his power too much. It's similar to Christian Saile. They trust their natural abilities too much. Whereas as a smarter player, don't trust your ability. Do something to always have an advantage over your opponent. And for that, it's always making you run earlier than your opponent, which they don't do. But other than that, Amakhosi for life. We beat Sundowns. We're going to the final. Now we focus on the league, maximum points, and we beat Sundowns, Buffett. That is the biggest one I want to tell you. We beat Sundowns. Offside goal and the Arsenal dab.